The retired two-time world champion couldn't contain his astonishment after seeing Terrence "Bud" Crawford's latest training clips.
I like everything that I saw from Crawford's camp.
And allow me to state, this is not the Crawford you recall from 147. No, this is a muscular, strong version of the undefeated pound-for-pound king. This isn't just adding weight, it's a complete physical re-engineering. Porter couldn't stop discussing Crawford's legs. Thick, muscular, bursting with strength, as he put it. And this isn't mere gym talk. Crawford's been training hard at high altitude in Colorado, running inclines that ascend from 6,000 FT to nearly 12,000 FT in the thin mountain air.
Feels like that chain on my neck, heavy as the world is linked to the pain while I'm paying for my girlfriend's cuffs to rolly cover mutilation is swirled in belts like Terrence Crawford, but the pain called that Earl Spence.
It's the kind of training that separates champions from legends. This isn't just about cardio. It's about blood science.
Yes, indeed, there are some changes in the atmospheric gases at high altitudes, and that can impact how much oxygen you can bring into your system, into your tissues. If you've been at altitude for a few days and you've had the opportunity to adjust, a lot of athletes, for instance, will go train at altitude, but if you then move very quickly from altitude, say you've been training at 8,000 feet or 10,000 feet, you've been hiking up at that high level and you've adapted, and you come down to sea level, well, for about 2 to 5 days, you're going to feel like an absolute beast. You're going to be able to essentially deliver far more oxygen to your muscles per breath.
At that altitude, the body is forced to produce more red blood cells, dramatically increasing oxygen carrying capacity, a natural form of blood doping that builds a superhuman gas tank. But here's the twist. While some fans are convinced this bulk will allow Crawford to absorb Canelo's power, others fear he's gained too much. A fan said, "Terrence Crawford, he's going for 42-0. He is going to take down Canelo Alvarez." And, with the fight scheduled for September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, this might just be the riskiest gamble of Crawford's career. Before we even address the weight debate, let's remember who we're speaking about. Terrence Crawford isn't merely good, he's historic. A perfect 41 wins, no losses, no draws. 31 of those wins came by knockout. A 4-division world champion, a 2-time undisputed champion, and already a certain first-ballot Hall of Famer. For years, Crawford's calling card was skill, slick defense, fast counters, and a ring IQ that left opponents seeing shadows. He wasn't the biggest, and he had no need to be. His sharpness alone was plenty to dominate divisions. So, when new footage showed him muscled up with added size and power, it wasn't just fans who were surprised. Fighters, trainers, and even seasoned analysts like Shawn Porter had to look twice. Crawford's never been famous for raw muscle, yet, suddenly, he looks like a man getting ready for war against a fighter much bigger than anyone he's ever faced before. The buzz started with surfaced clips and photos. Crawford pounding away at pads, sprinting up steep inclines, and flexing a visibly fuller frame. This wasn't the lean technician from Omaha. This was a stronger version of Bud. Shawn Porter, who knows better than most what it feels like to be in a ring with Crawford, focused on one detail: the legs. They're thick, in shape, and appear very strong, Porter said. To him, Crawford's lower body strength is the basis of his explosive power. Strong legs mean balance, stamina, and the ability to create the kind of shots that can change a fight in an instant. This is critical because Canelo is a master of breaking down an opponent's body, and strong legs are the foundation needed to withstand that assault and stay mobile in the late rounds. What makes this even more stunning is the altitude factor. Training at 6,000 FT is difficult enough, but Crawford's camp pushes much higher, climbing to 11,000 or 12,000 FT, where the air is extremely thin. Every breath burns. Each step feels heavier. To put that in perspective, commercial airplanes pressurize their cabins to simulate an altitude of 6,000 to 8,000 feet. Crawford is doing grueling physical work at an altitude where most people would struggle just to walk. If he can succeed in those conditions, imagine the engine he'll carry into the ring. Shawn stated, Analyze how his weight is now spread across his body. Is it distributed a bit too much right here in the midsection? Are the legs too thick? And now I'm not seeing the muscle pop and other things of that nature. The dude is doing absolutely all the right things. They have something known as the incline in Colorado Springs. So, just in case you don't know, Colorado Springs is about 6,000, a little over 6,000 feet in the air, right? So it's high altitude. I don't know where Vegas is. Vegas is roughly 1,000, I believe. Porter himself admitted Crawford isn't merely putting in work. He's doing everything right with his SNAC training program. From incline runs to weight sessions, it's a well-planned transformation. But here's where the story changes course. Porter may be impressed, but he's not totally optimistic. He knows the fight game, and he knows that carrying too much extra weight can be a double-sided sword. He pointed back to Crawford's previous outing at 154 lbs against Israel Madrimov. In that fight, Crawford looked heavier, yes, but seemed a touch slower. It was a reminder that bulk can at times reduce speed, and speed is the very weapon that makes Crawford dangerous. Adding to the intrigue, Porter shared a moment from camp that made fans raise eyebrows. He asked Crawford directly what supplements he takes under Victor Conte's SNAC program.
He and I spoke maybe 2 months ago, before all this stuff started happening. 2 or 3 months ago we spoke. I said, yo, what supplements you take? He said, I only take this, I only take that. Victor's regiment calls for about 6 different supplements, 6 different bottles of supplements. He only took 2. I laughed at him because they were the only 2 that I took. We took what we felt we needed.
Based off your advice or based off his own?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like based off of what he felt he needed, he was doing it, and it was right in line with what I felt I needed. You know what I mean? So I know.
Now, Conte's name has a history, some good, some controversial. This isn't just any trainer. Victor Conte is the founder of Balco, the lab at the center of one of the biggest steroid scandals in sports history. According to Porter, the program offers 6 different supplements, but Crawford revealed he only uses 2. Porter even laughed, saying those were the exact same 2 he used when he trained under Conte. Porter made it plain that supplements are not steroids. A protein shake is a supplement. Magnesium for sleep is a supplement. Even iron pills are supplements, and Crawford has reportedly coped with low iron in the past. Still, the moment Porter said it, the internet erupted with rumors. Fans love a controversy, and suddenly whispers of performance enhancers were everywhere. No, Big Boxing Story is truly complete without a cloud of controversy, and in Crawford's case, it arrived almost instantly. The second his association with Victor Conte and SNAC was mentioned, the internet blew up with whispers of performance enhancers. Suddenly, headlines weren't just about his more muscular physique. They were questioning if his rise in size was natural. But here's the reality that frequently gets ignored in the noise.
Especially for someone like myself who was as clean as I have always been, you're supposed to work. My dad wouldn't let me take Robitussin, bruh.
Shawn Porter, who himself has always claimed of being a clean fighter, has came forward to calm things down. He reminded fans that Victor Conte's modern-day program isn't questionable or illegal. It's about nutrition, recovery, and maximizing performance with science-based supplements. Supplements, Porter stressed, don't mean PEDs. These aren't banned substances. They're everyday aids utilized by elite athletes worldwide.
People have said that he's a blown-up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize like he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight and fit into a weight class properly. He's done that. So he's a clean athlete, just like everybody else.
Still, social media almost never waits for context. To many fans, the word supplement was sufficient to throw gasoline on the fire. They painted Crawford's transformation as doubtful, ignoring the nuance Porter was attempting to explain. He even laughed about it, saying Crawford only takes 2 of the 6 products in Conte's regimen, the very same 2 he himself once used. Yet the speculation remained. In a sport where every edge is scrutinized and every fighter's physique is analyzed frame by frame, Crawford's partnership with SNAC became the perfect storm for an internet witch hunt. And all of this matters because of the mountain Crawford is ready to climb.
This video from Bomac talking about how, he supports SNAC and how he takes SNAC and his team takes SNAC as well. This is how I feel about that shit. Good! Listen, bro, SNAC doesn't pop. We don't like that, it's associated with who I think is the biggest cheater in sports history. And he needs to bulk up and still keep his speed and explosiveness against Canelo. You remember when I said, dude, bathe in that shit. Don't even mix it and drink it. Drink it, eat it, throw the powder on, exfoliate with SNAC, bruh, because you're going to need every bit of it against Saul Canelo Alvarez. And I ain't joking. That's where I'm at. Take it. Take it, because Canelo Alvarez is way too much at 168. Terrence, take the damn SNAC.
On September 13th, he's not facing merely anyone. He's facing Canelo Alvarez, a 4-division champion, a 2-time undisputed king, and one of the most seasoned fighters of his generation. Crawford is jumping from 147 lbs, where he ruled for almost a decade, all the way up to 168 lbs. That's a full 3 weight classes. Let that sink in. He's skipping junior middleweight and middleweight entirely to challenge the king of the super middleweights. This is a leap few have ever dared, let alone succeeded at. And while fans admire the ambition, the risk cannot be higher. Analysts and fighters have been divided in their predictions. Israel Madrimov, who shared the ring with Crawford at 154, did not mince words. He warned that if Crawford adds too much weight, Canelo will finish him early. Israel said he might be even stronger than Canelo. He might put on the weight well. He might do really well in there. So he'll look way stronger, but he's hit easily. He's very easily hit compared to when I fought against Crawford. This is a terrifying thought, because a bigger body is also a bigger target for Canelo's devastating body shots. A weapon that has crumbled bigger men than Crawford.
Perspective, having fought Terrence, him now fighting Canelo, moving up 2 more weight classes to fight a lot bigger guy.
Сейчас всем интересно вот это бой, потому что они занимают паунд по паунду. Кроуфорд, у Кроуфорда есть высокий IQ. И обоих стойках он может боксировать, он можно давить и бегать, и даже ближний бой тоже может. Поэтому мне тоже интересно, если он не набирает лишний вес, может тоже выиграть это. Есть шанс.
Amir Khan, who's fought both men, provided a different take. He admitted Canelo's the stronger fighter physically, but said Crawford is much harder to hit clean, a trait that could be the key factor. He stated, I think you've just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters are getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But I'd remain with what you're good at. Terrence is an exceptional talent. You've won titles through the weights. Undisputed. Was it 3 weights now? And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. Meanwhile, John Ryder urged Crawford to look at Dimitri Bivol's blueprint. Use movement, don't trade heavy shots, and frustrate Canelo with footwork and counters.
You faced Canelo. If you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terrence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, was it 3 weights now? And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight, but listen, like, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is.
The Bivol blueprint was built on a relentless jab and constant lateral movement. The question is, can a heavier, more muscular Crawford maintain that kind of athletic output for 12 rounds? Andy Ruiz, on the other hand, leaned on national pride, backing Canelo as the Mexican warrior who will be too strong for anyone coming up that far. He said, "This is going to be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's a Mexican warrior as well. But Crawford, man, you can't disregard him or underestimate him. You know, he has a lot of skill, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's going to be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait."
But you would have added a lot. Who wins, Canelo or Crawford? I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's the Mexican warrior as well. But Crawford, man, you can't neglect him or you can't underestimate him as well. You know, he has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's gonna be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait, and the best man wins.
And the best man wins. What all of these opinions show is just how divisive this fight has become. Crawford's weight gain could be his golden ticket to making history, or the very thing that causes his downfall. If the controversy around supplements were not enough, another twist came from a single photo. Victor Conti shared an image of Crawford, appearing massive in a SNAC shirt, muscles bulging, veins popping. Within minutes, fans flooded comment sections claiming Crawford had gained too much, that he'd never make weight, or that he was sacrificing speed for size. But then arrived the correction. Boxing analyst pointed out that the picture wasn't at all new. It was from 2024, ahead of Crawford's fight with Israel Madrimov. In other words, fans were freaking out over an old training shot that had nothing to do with his next fight against Canelo. The revelation sparked a new theory that Crawford himself could be playing the game. By keeping his current physique concealed under hoodies and tracksuits, he's making sure nobody really knows what shape he'll be in on fight night. Is he actually lighter than everyone thinks, or is he even bigger than the photos suggest? It's classic mind games, letting fans and even opponents believe he's heavier than he actually is, while quietly slimming down behind the scenes. If that's true, then Crawford isn't just preparing his body for war. He's also controlling the narrative, keeping everyone guessing about his actual strategy. And so it all leads to this. September 13th, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. Terence Crawford, unbeaten and undisputed at multiple weights, stepping into the ring against Canelo Alvarez, the current super middleweight king. It's much more than just a fight. It's a collision of eras, styles, and great legacies. It's a modern-day David versus Goliath, but this time, David is trying to become Goliath. Fans are utterly divided. Some believe Crawford's bulk is a masterstroke, the last piece he needs to shock the world and dethrone Canelo. They argue that if anyone can carry speed and skill through the divisions, it's Crawford. Others see it as a grave error, a gamble, too risky against a naturally bigger man who's flourished at 168 for years. What makes this fight so compelling is the great unknown. Has Crawford added the proper kind of weight? Will his high-altitude training and iron discipline give him the engine to go longer than Canelo? Or will the extra bulk slow him just enough for Canelo's power to land on target? We are about to find out if the age-old boxing adage holds true. A good big man always beats a good little man. One thing is certain, history is at stake. And as Shawn Porter himself admitted, seeing Crawford's new physique was startling. But the true shock may arrive when the bell rings in Las Vegas, because if Terence Crawford balances this bulk with his trademark speed and skill, he could change boxing history. But if the weight fails him, September 13th might be the night. The legend concludes, let us know your opinions in the comments below.